I love the concept of destroying my enemies, even if it costs me everything. When the campus beauty ordered me to climb into a septic tank to fetch her diamond ring, I lit a stick of dynamite and blew the entire tank sky high. When the spoiled heiress dragged me to the rooftop to threaten me, I grabbed her hand and jumped with her without a second thought. The fall killed me, but when I opened my eyes again, I had been dropped into a classic Torment novel as the pitiful female lead. A mechanical voice explained my new mission. If I followed the original plot, let the male lead carve out my organs, waited for his guilt meter to fill, endured his repentance arc, and survived long enough, I would revive with a reward worth 100 million. The system whispered beside my ear in a slimy, mocking voice. Previous transmigrators tried to fight back. It said they twisted the script and the world erased them one after another. It advised me not to be stupid. It wanted to see me crumble. Instead, I smiled brightly and nodded. Why would I run away from such a perfect chance? Making people regret their choices happens to be my specialty. So when the male lead demanded that I hand over a kidney for his precious first love, I did not hesitate. I injected myself with HIV on the spot. After the surgery, Jason Sterling stormed into the recovery room. Emma Snow, are you out of your mind? Why did you hide that you had AIDS? I watched the glowing bar above his head spike straight to 40% and asked the system, who decided regret only comes from groveling. Is he not regretting the kidney request now? The system nearly burst a fuse. You are supposed to be the one suffering, not him. I ignored its tantrum and faced Jason with a soft expression. You never asked. If Sophie dislikes this kidney, I can give her the other one too. His eyes darkened. He slammed me onto the bed by the throat. You did this on purpose, he snarled. Where did you get infected? You betrayed me. Oddly enough, he seemed more furious about the idea of betrayal than the kidney itself. I let tears roll down my cheeks. Jason, how can you think that? I only got sick because I sold blood to pay for your treatment back then. How can you doubt me after everything I did for you? Mentioning that memory made him hesitate. In the novel, he lost his memories and nearly died. The impoverished heroine saved him at the cost of everything she had, being a drug test subject and selling blood just to keep him alive. His grip slowly loosened. Even so, he muttered, you should have told me. Sophie was already weak. Now she is infected because of you. You owe her an apology. I nodded.
All right. I will go right now.
He blinked, surprised. Before this, Sophie and I fought like sworn enemies. He expected me to scratch her face, not agree. Just make sure you understand your mistake, he warned and left. As soon as he walked out the door, the system shrieked like a deranged rodent inside my skull. It accused me of deviating from the script. How am I not following it? I said. I donated the kidney, Jason regretted it, and nothing in this world has struck me with lightning yet. The system froze, realizing I had not been punished even once. Back when I first arrived, I asked what happened if I disobeyed. The system simply electrocuted me until I nearly died, saying the world would strike me with 100 times more force. That fear kept me in line. Until now. I finished dressing and smirked. If there is no punishment, the rules must approve. Apologizing is part of the plot too, right? The system trembled. What are you planning? Since he already regrets the kidney, I replied, I may as well make him regret demanding an apology. I pushed open Sophie Miller's hospital door. She was curled in Jason's arms, crying softly. Seeing me, she trembled and buried herself deeper in his chest. Jason stroked her hair gently. Do not be afraid. She came to apologize.
He pointed at me. Say it.
I bowed. I am sorry. That is it. Sophie snapped. Jason, she infected me with some disgusting disease. If the public finds out, my career is over. She thinks one sorry fixes that? Jason frowned. What do you want then? I stepped in with a smile. Give me 2 hours. I will apologize in a way you can accept. 2 hours later, the entrance of the hospital looked like a parade. I had hired a group of aunties waving a bright red banner that read, Sophie Miller, I am sorry for giving you an AIDS-infected kidney. Please forgive me. A woman with a megaphone yelled toward Sophie's window, Miss Miller. Our Emma knows she was wrong. You made her donate and she agreed. Please be generous. People all over the hospital peeked from their windows. The system screeched. This is not the apology the plot requires. Did it specify the format? As long as I say sorry, it counts. Jason bolted over, grabbed the megaphone, and smashed it. Emma Snow, are you crazy? Sophie is an actress. Do you want to destroy her? His regret meter jumped to 50. I blinked innocently. I only wanted her to feel my sincerity. Should I return tomorrow? Jason grabbed my collar. If you pull another stunt, I will cut off your mother's medication.
His phone rang.
After answering, his face went pale. What did you do this time? Nothing dramatic. I just bought a 24-hour Times Square billboard to broadcast my apology. If Sophie wants more, I can book a network interview. He raised his hand to strike me, but a nurse burst through the door. Mr. Sterling, it is bad. Miss Miller slit her wrists. He ran off and shouted back, if anything happens to Sophie, you will pay with your life. I checked his bar. 60% already. The system wailed. Everyone else spends years on their revenge arcs. Why are you speedrunning? Relax, I said. She will not die. For the next 2 months, Jason lost his mind trying to bury the scandal. The hashtags exploded online. Investigations dug up his messy history with Sophie and how he forced his wife to donate a kidney to his first love. Sterling Corporation's stock collapsed. To save himself, Jason abandoned Sophie's career, publicly distancing himself from her while discreetly moving her into the family home. As a peace offering, he handed her control of the household finances. The system was shaken. This plot point was supposed to happen 5 years later. Not an accident, it murmured. You planned this. I smiled but said nothing. Once she had financial power, Sophie made her move. She downgraded my mother's hospital room. She took away my driver. She gave me $10 a day to live on. I accepted everything without complaint, even when she stopped my mother's medication. Fair enough, I told her. The system finally snapped. Have you become a different person? How can you put up with this? There is no hurry. You remember the story's major turning point. The system hesitated. After Sophie gets control, she arranges a hit and run on your mother, refuses to pay the surgery fees, and your mother dies. That is when Jason starts his full regret arc. I nodded. It should happen any day now. The system froze. You're not seriously.
Exactly.
The stage is ready. Let us see if she plays her part. And of course she did. 2 days later, the hospital called. A traffic accident?
How?
I will bring the money immediately. I ran to Sophie, breath unsteady. Sophie, my family was hit by a car. They need money for emergency surgery. Please, I am begging you. She handed me a single 10. Hurry then, do not delay them. I stared at it. Only 10? She smiled. That is your allowance. If you want more, come back tomorrow. Realizing she was doing it on purpose, I dropped to my knees. Sophie, stop joking. They will not operate without payment. Please, I am begging you. You know who was in that accident. It is my... She cut me off smoothly. Processes are the same for everyone. Sterling money does not grow on trees. If I break the rules for you, how am I supposed to manage anything? Knowing Sophie wouldn't budge, I picked up the phone and called Jason. Jason, your mother was in an accident. She needs emergency surgery. Sophie refuses to pay. Please, you have to help. There was a long pause, then Jason said for me to hand the phone to Sophie. I passed it over quickly. Her voice softened as she spoke. Jason, I'm not refusing help, but I've set rules here. If I break them now, the staff won't respect me. I understand your concern, but I must assert my authority. I couldn't hear Jason's response, but Sophie's smug smile told me enough. She handed the phone back. Jason wants to speak to you, she said. On the line, Jason sounded tense. Emma Snow, every household has rules, every country has laws. Sophie now controls the finances. If she makes an exception for you, how can she enforce order in the Sterling home? The money will come. Nobody dies instantly in a hospital. Later, I shouted. This is an emergency. Every second counts. Are you seriously letting her do this? You'll regret it. Jason laughed coldly. Regret? I haven't even settled the hospital mess you caused. Let Sophie vent. The funds will reach you when she calms down. Now stop stirring trouble. He hung up. I gaped at Sophie. You witch. I seethed, storming out. Arriving at the Sterling villa, I found Sophie lounging as usual. Before she could react, I slapped her twice. Sophie Miller. Your greed killed her. My mother didn't make it because of you. Happy now? The noise drew Jason home. He charged in, shielding Sophie and pointing a finger at me. Emma Snow. How dare you hit her? Your mother's death isn't Sophie's fault. If anyone's responsible, it's the circumstances. We were about to send money, but she didn't survive. How is this Sophie's fault? Without thinking, I slapped him back. Jason Sterling. Speak human. It wasn't my mother who died, it was yours. The regret meter above his head jumped violently from 60 to 85%. I blinked as it froze just short of 100. Damn. His mother dies and he only reaches 85%? Jason grabbed my throat. What nonsense are you saying? It's not nonsense. I cried. Your mother.
She died.
I called you countless times, begged for money. The hospital refused to operate. She was left in the hallway, unattended. That's why she died. No, impossible, Jason murmured, weakness and disbelief etched into his face. Sophie stood, pointing at me. Jason, don't believe this insane woman. She's lying, trying to make you feel guilty. Can it lie? I threw a paper at them. Your mother's death certificate. Jason Sterling. She's still at the morgue. Arrange her funeral, if you have any humanity left. Sophie's face paled. How could this be? I thought. She didn't finish before Jason staggered out. Half an hour later, Jason arrived at the morgue. Seeing his mother in the freezer, his knees buckled. Mom, how could this happen? He whirled toward Sophie. It's you. You caused this. You didn't pay for her surgery. Sophie Miller, you'll answer for this. Before he could finish, his hands closed around her throat. Sophie's tears fell. You're right. I caused her death. If you want me dead, kill me. But why did Emma claim it was her family member? Why didn't the hospital call you first? Wow, a White Lotus in action. 2 words shifted all blame onto me. Jason snapped toward me. Emma Snow, did you plan this? Why was my mother in an accident? Why did the hospital contact you first? I laughed, voice icy. You're right to suspect. It wasn't an accident, but I didn't do it. Sophie Miller is responsible. Sophie's expression twisted. Lies. You're slandering me. Am I? I pulled out my phone. Evidence speaks for itself. Before she could stop me, I pressed play. Her mother was driving to the villa when a drunk truck hit her. The driver admitted he was careless. But the recording captured Sophie giving instructions to the driver. Uncle, don't worry. Just hit the car. If someone dies, so what? I control the Sterling money now. Serve a few years, and I'll pay you $5 million. Enough to live in luxury. Once Emma is gone, and I become Mrs. Sterling, you're free. Jason's face went pale. Sophie lunged for the phone.
Fake.
Jason, don't believe her. These are lies. I smiled. There's more. I played the second recording. Sophie instructing the hospital doctor. No need to operate. Leave her in the hallway. Wait until she dies. The doctor asked about Jason pursuing the case. Mr. Sterling wants her gone, Sophie replied coldly. I put the phone away, looking Jason straight in the eye. She's done terrible things in your name. Will you let it continue? Jason's mind flashed back. He remembered being kidnapped years ago, tortured for a week, and rescued by a little girl who found a phone to call his parents. That girl wasn't Sophie. It was the original female lead. I revealed the truth. The girl who saved him was me. Sophie's schemes had manipulated everything afterward, causing death and suffering to the original female lead's family. Both looked shocked. Sophie screamed. You're lying. I saved him. I ran to find a phone. You're framing me. Jason blocked her, torn between us. Emma Snow, you say you saved me. Proof. I pulled out an old photograph and a cufflink from my bag. Evidence he had given me back then. Sophie couldn't respond, face draining of color. Jason examined the evidence, pupils narrowing. Enough, he barked, pulling out his phone. Take Sophie Miller to where she belongs. Deliver her and all evidence to the police.
No.
Jason, I admit I was wrong. Please, her voice faltered. The room fell silent except for us. Jason's regret meter climbed from 90 to 95%. I stared at him. His mother dead, Sophie's lies exposed, my role revealed. What else did he need to realize? The system was flabbergasted. This wasn't supposed to happen. Then Jason spoke. You're not Emma. My heart skipped, but I played dumb. Of course I'm Emma, I said. His gaze hardened. The real Emma would never act like this. She's kind, weak, uncalculating. Who are you? I didn't answer him. I had never imagined he would uncover the truth at such a decisive moment. Inside my head the system panicked, shouting that everything was ruined. But I laughed. Jason Sterling, you want the truth? Fine. I'm not the original Emma Snow. She's gone. You and Sophie drove her to her death. His expression shifted violently. You're lying. Lying. I stepped closer. You demanded her kidney, degraded her constantly, let her father die protecting you, ignored her sick mother, and kept chasing after a woman who pretended to save you. Emma Snow broke apart under it all. She died long before I showed up. I only stepped into her body to carry out her last wish. She wanted you to regret every choice you made. Jason stumbled back, hitting the wall behind him.
No.
Emma couldn't have. She loved you more deeply than you ever deserved. Even when you hurt her, she kept waiting for you to change. But you didn't. Even as she lay dying, you were still wrapped up with Sophie. I moved toward him slowly. Her final hope wasn't revenge. She just wanted you to feel real remorse. Even once. Jason collapsed to his knees. Tears streamed down his face. Emma, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Come back. Please. At that moment, the regret meter finally jumped. 96. 97, 98, 99, 100. Ding, mission complete. Regret reached maximum. Reward, $100 million, delivered. My whole body felt lighter. So that missing 5%, the last piece that refused to rise, had belonged to the real Emma Snow, not me. He had to mourn her. System, can I leave now? Yes, host, you succeeded brilliantly. I looked at Jason one last time. He was still kneeling, empty and broken. Jason Sterling, these are Emma Snow's final words. She said not to meet again. Not in this life or the next. My consciousness dissolved. When I opened my eyes, I was lying in a hospital bed. A nurse gasped in shock when she saw me awake. My phone pinged. The $100 million was real. The news headlines read, CEO Jason Sterling hospitalized under suspicion of mental collapse. He is said to repeatedly cry out to someone named Emma. I set the phone aside. That chapter of my life had ended. Whatever future Jason found, whether regret or redemption, no longer concerned me. With my money, I chose a fresh start. For the girl named Emma Snow, I wished only that in another lifetime she met someone who actually cherished her. 3 years passed. With $100 million as my seed capital, I built a thriving investment firm. From time to time, I overheard updates about Jason Sterling. Apparently, he had donated his entire fortune to create foundations for organ patients, every branch carrying the same name, Emma Foundation. He never pursued a relationship again. And each year on Emma Snow's death day, he spent the entire day at her grave. Sometimes the system popped up. Host, interested in another mission? This one pays $1 billion. I shook my head.
No.
Experiencing one shattered life was enough. Even standing on the sidelines, it's too much. The system hesitated. There's something I never told you. The original Emma's soul never disappeared.
She saw everything you did.
She wanted me to pass along a message. I froze. What message? She said thank you. For a long moment, I couldn't speak. And now, she's been reborn. She'll be loved in her next life. No more heartbreak. A gentle smile tugged at my lips. Good. That's what she deserves.